As she stood in that destitute province, staring into the children's faces, etched with the pain of hunger and exhaustion, she slumped to the ground, a wave of shame and embarrassment moving through her. How could I ever have been so self-destructive, so self-pitying, when these people have nothing, and I have so much? Hi, I'm Garvin DeShazer, and this is your Daily Inspiration. She had arrived in Cambodia to film a movie for which she was the lead character. A veteran of playing complex characters, she was masterful at uncovering their deepest emotions and evoking powerful reactions in her audience. She had received endless critical acclaim for her work, and she adored the attention. "I've got this one down," she thought. Having prepared extensively for the part and flown overseas, it seemed the hard work was done. Now, all she had to do was act. Little did she know that what she encountered would change her life. From a young age, she was no stranger to the dark side of human emotion. Naturally tender and a bit odd, she struggled to connect to her peers and was often teased for being unusually thin. As a teen, she channeled her pain into a number of addictions, cutting herself to relieve intense feelings of emptiness and anger. She developed an eating disorder, used a variety of drugs, and went moshing at rock concerts. Fascinated by death, she sketched graveyards in her school notebooks and once even ordered a funeral director's kit in dreams of becoming an undertaker. All the emotions each of us feels, Angelina seemed to feel 10 times. It was, in fact, this dark intensity that fueled her career. By her mid-20s, Angelina Jolie was starring in the biopic film Gia, which chronicles the life of a supermodel caught in a web of tumultuous relationships and harrowing drug addiction. In faithful following with her training at the Lee Strasberg Institute, Angelina had delved into the role by method acting, only to find herself painfully mired in the character's traits outside of work. It was a deeply unpleasant experience, not only for Angelina, but for the people around her. She became very difficult to deal with, said her then-husband. And little wonder. Playing Gia required her to immerse herself in a fire of manipulation, addiction, and self-absorption. After the close of Gia, Angelina sank into a state of hopeless exhaustion. "I gave everything I had for this role," she thought. "What else is left in me?" She briefly gave up acting, taking long, aimless drives and staying in hotels. Yet, as the months passed, something stirred inside Angelina to press on. Determined to find her way, she went to Cambodia, expecting to find a clue in her film role. Instead, she found herself face to face with the reality of refugees and, in turn, her ignorance about life as most people experience it. "We all have that moment where we question what we've been told all our lives and have to find the truth for ourselves," she said. "My whole life changed. I realized how sheltered I had been and how fortunate I was." Leaving behind her dark roots, Angelina immersed herself in helping refugees. She traveled to Darfur, Sierra Leone, and Afghanistan, developing a deep trust and respect for the natives. Behind the labels, refugees, internally displaced persons, asylum seekers, are people with the same hopes, fears, sorrows, and happiness as anyone, she says. To survive what many in Afghan have survived is testimony to the resilience of the human spirit. Seeing them, I felt a responsibility to be a better person. It was with the adoption of her son that Angelina took this responsibility one step further. She committed to love a child. "I knew that once I had a child, I would never be self-destructive again," she says. As with her experiences in Cambodia, the commitment was absolute. There was no turning back. Angelina persisted in her passion and new life purpose. Soon she began serving in a capacity as Goodwill Ambassador for the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and was appointed Special Envoy to the High Commissioner. She made a habit of donating a third of her earnings to charity. Most of all, she became herself. It was a strangely fulfilling journey. The same tenderness that had once fueled Angelina's self-destruction now spurred a boundless compassion and commitment to service for others. So, how did Angelina Jolie transform from a self-absorbed, miserable young woman to a supportive mother and humanitarian? How was such a dramatic change possible? She first chose to recognize that she was more blessed than she realized. She used her innate tenderness to love others instead of self-destruct. She fully committed to better herself, and she acted on that commitment. What can you do today to help someone less blessed than you? What inner gifts do you possess, perhaps without even being consciously aware of them, that are waiting to be uncovered to reveal a better you? In what way will you use those gifts for good, allowing others to see that real you? Can you affirm now, "I am compassion and commitment to service for others"? Whoever you are, someone in need is waiting for you. Thanks for listening. May your day, this day, be filled with love, laughter, and joy. Bye for now.
Hi, this is Scott Sampson, producer for the Daily Inspirations podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Want more inspiration in your life? Check out our blog for weekend stories of hope and uplifting news. If you've been enjoying the podcast, we hope you'll take a moment today and rate and review us and tell everyone in your circle so they can get the same inspiration that we hope you've received today. We have big plans for this podcast and we want you to be part of it. Visit dailyinspirationsandmeditations.com to contact us with your own inspirational stories or just to say hi.